You see that number above me? It shows the global population in real time. Pretty cool, right? It shows the number of people that have been born and how many have died. But what makes the counter significant right now is that we're about to hit 8 billion people on the planet. It might even happen during this video, so keep watching it with me, because that's a lot of people. Let's get into it. This is Can Explains Global Population. Okay, first things first. How is this number calculated? Like, is there someone literally counting everybody on the planet every day?
This count of the number of people in the world is really an estimate. A lot of it comes from censuses, and then we use information that we know about, like how many births people are typically having in one country, how many people are typically dying in one country, and we use mathematical models to combine that and make these estimates or projections of the future population.
And get this, it took about 300,000 years to reach our first billion people. Our second billion came a lot faster, in just 123 years. Then 33 years for our third billion. Since then, we've been talking on a billion about every 10 years. That's a huge spike in growth. What's the deal?
The biggest factor that we can think about is improving health outcomes. So the fact that people are living longer and living healthier, in particular that more babies survive.
There were also improvements in agricultural techniques, which meant there was more food for people to eat. I guess that means it's probably going to be like, 5 years till our next billion? Maybe a billion a year after that? And will it keep going forever and ever?
It doesn't look like it's going to keep growing forever and ever. We think it is going to kind of start to flatten out. So I think the best estimate for that is something like maybe 2090 is when we'll hit 10.4 billion people.
That has something to do with what's called fertility rates. The fertility rate peaked in 1962 and has been on the decline since then. So what is it?
It's this pretend number that we throw around that can sort of be interpreted as the average number of kids that women will have in a lifetime.
So why is that number declining?
One main reason that fertility rates are declining is an increase in women's education. So it turns out when women go to school for longer, they have fewer children. And also the increasing availability of contraceptive methods.
More educated women equals less babies. But 8 billion people is still a lot. Isn't that a problem? So there is this day each year called Earth Overshoot Day. It's basically a day that marks when we use up all of the renewable resources our planet can provide in a single year. This year, it fell on July 28th.
We're kind of dipping into the future earnings. It's sort of like getting a loan, like from your parents, right? Like, oh, I really want to buy something, but I don't have the money now. So you can kind of look to the future and say like, oh, well, I'll just take my allowance for the next 3 weeks and have that now. And I'll figure out what to do in 3 weeks from now.
There was a study done by researchers at Stanford University that estimated the ideal population size for our current consumption levels would be around 1.5 to 1.9 billion. Let's just round up and say 2 billion. Wait, what number are we at? That's a lot more than 2 billion. So if the ideal population is 2 billion people, and we have 8 billion people, how the heck are we existing right now? The short answer is kind of a combination of borrowing from the future, remember Earth Overshoot Day, and innovation. We're working to find ways to make all the stuff we need without using natural resources. But it's still a lot of people for the resources we have. So what can we do about it? Some people believe that we can come up with even more ways to change how and what we consume and make it more manageable and sustainable.
Thinking smartly about why you're consuming certain things and what you really need is the best thing for kids to do. And to start pressuring their parents to think about it too, to think about, do we really need that new thing, or are we okay with using this old one for longer, or just reducing the number of things that we need in our lives.
Sarah says it's also important to speak up. For example, you can talk to your parents about voting for election candidates that are for a more sustainable, less consumption-heavy future. Alright, looks like that number is above my head again, which means we're watching the global population grow. And wow, you here we go! It just crossed 8 billion people. Watching history happen right here. But wait, should we be celebrating that? Didn't we just talk about overconsumption? Maybe we should both go back and watch this video from the top one more time. That's it for Can Explains. For CBC Kids News, I'm Ainara Alleyne.